First pull, here we go, first impressions. Oh, there's like a blow-off valve in it? That actually has me a little bit surprised. What's up, guys? Welcome back to today's video. Man, did this video come as a surprise and a shock. Last night, I got delivered a car that actually you guys on Instagram helped me find. We are driving an R34, but not a GTR. We're driving our new R34 GTT. Now, if you don't know what the difference between a GTT is and a GTR, later in this video, I'm gonna break down the differences so you guys can fully understand what's going on, but this thing is sick. We have an EV1 Lightning Yellow, one of the rarest colors actually in the GTR world. I believe it's the second rarest color behind red. Same thing follows with the GTT. This thing is sick. It looks so good. It's completely stock. I'm driving it right now for the first time. Don't mind the hideous red steering wheel. This thing is sick. Listen to it. Let's go! It's actually a little bit quicker than I thought it was gonna be, and I'm actually really enjoying myself. Way more than I thought I would for a stock car. Oh, hello. 997 says later, dog. This thing must have a blow-off valve in it. There's no way this is how this car sounds stock. So rather than an RB26 and a GTR, this actually has an RB25 Neo. And rather than having the traditional 6-speed that you find in the R34 GTR, we have a 5-speed manual in this car. For those that have never seen the GTT, it actually looks really similar to the GTR on the inside. You have a pretty similar setup, actually exactly similar setup, but GTT comes with some gauges up here. You have a slightly different tachometer setup right here, and the door cards are a little bit different, obviously different seats, but other than that, this thing looks exactly the same and feels exactly the same as my GTR does. Oh, wheel chirp. Now, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. Why did I just buy another R34 when I just finished the Midnight Purple one and I have another R34 GTR Bayside Blue in Japan? Now, I'm gonna head back to the shop right now. I'm gonna show you guys this car on the outside, and I'm gonna show the boys, and I'm gonna let you guys in on the big secret. All right, you guys, so here she is, the R34 GTT in EV1 Lightning Yellow. Now, I know this thing has absolutely hideous wheels on it, but try to look beyond the wheels and look beyond the McDonald's spec steering wheel we have, but this thing is sick. This is the little brother of the GTR. And at first glance, you might not even be able to tell the difference. I'm pretty sure it came from Japan on this setup, but we have terrible fitment and terrible wheels on this car. Really just do this thing a disservice. And we have a disgusting red steering wheel, which I don't know if that was on purpose, but it looks terrible. But from the outside, this thing is super sick. Now, this is the GTT style, so we have a different front end, we have a different hood, we have narrow fenders, and we have narrow rear quarter panels. This is a skinnier version than the GTR. So imagine if we're gonna talk in, let's talk in M3 terms. If you all know what a basic 3 Series looks like and you put it next to an M3, that's essentially what you're gonna expect with the exterior and body of the GTT to the GTR. This is the little brother, but it's still aspiring to be performance compared to its bigger brother, the GTR. But you're probably confused. Why get a yellow GTT when I already have 2 GTRs? Well, you guys, I've been planning this for a really long time, and man, I'm so excited. This is going to be our next giveaway car for one of you guys. But the plan and the whole idea of this whole entire build is I'm gonna make an exact clone. I'm gonna make a replica of my GTR with a GTT. So that means that we're gonna be taking this whole thing apart, rebuilding everything in the car, and we're gonna make it look exactly like this R34 GTR and Midnight Purple 2, which means this car is gonna get a full rebuild, a full restoration, and a full paint job, so you guys can win the matching clone to my GTR, but we're gonna make this even better. We're gonna make this thing rip. It's gonna make 500 horsepower. It's gonna be rear-wheel drive. It's gonna be manual. It's gonna be all the great things that the GTR is, but a little bit different. The giveaway starts today. So right now, if you head over to thehuntingcompany.com, you can click the links down below in the description. The giveaway starts right now, and we have 60 days till we build this and call the winner to come pick it up and have a matching car with my GTR. So to kick things off, we have a brand new EV1 Lightning Yellow GTT t-shirt that came out super sick. And we're also launching the start of the Signature Series #2 collection is also live. There's also a couple more goodies that have also hit the website that all count towards this giveaway. So whether you buy a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a sticker, an accessory, anything right now for the next 60 days counts towards winning what we're gonna be building, the GTT R34 clone. So I'm no expert on the GTT, but I do know enough. And I think Dylan actually knows a little bit more than I do about this car. And we're both super excited because this is one of those cars that is gone up in value so much. And a lot of people can't afford the GTR, so they buy the GTT, but even the GTT nows are still really expensive. Now I got this one on a really good deal because this car actually has been sprayed before. So that really makes me feel a little bit better about respraying this whole entire car a different color, although this is super rare. This was factory color EV1, but as you can see, as we go inside the engine bays were never body color. So this thing has been sprayed. Yeah, they were always like a black or gray. Oh. So this has an RB25 Neo in it. Now these cars can make upwards of 500 horsepower, and by the time we are done with it, it will make 500 horsepower for one of you guys that comes and picks it up. But what makes these things super cool is the fact that one, it does come with a factory 5-speed. It has rear-wheel drive rather than all-wheel drive.
LSD?
I don't know if it has an LSD. I imagine it has an LSD. With one click of a button, and I just found this a second ago, there is right here, TCS off, which is your traction control. With one click of a button, you can turn it off and you can do donuts and burnouts and you can actually slide this thing around, which is super cool. Now me and Dylan were just talking off camera. A really cool comparison is this is like getting a 335 M Sport. The M3 is like the GTR version. So where the GTT is still sporty and fun, it's not their ultimate performance-based model, which would be like the M3 compared to the 335. But this thing is so cool and they're getting so sought after, and it's a really cool way to have the body and look of the R34 GTR, but you get to have rear-wheel drive, which you don't get to have in the GTR. And in some cases, can be cooler than a GTR, and by the time we're done with it, it will. So, if you guys don't remember, when we built the R34 Midnight Purple 2 in Connecticut, we took off all of the GTR pieces that originally came on my car to put on all of the Z-Tune pieces on the Midnight Purple. And I've been planning this for so long that we kept the stock fenders, the stock hood, the stock front bumper. So the winner of this car is gonna have all of the original pieces off of my Midnight Purple 2 R34 GTR on the GTT, which is gonna be mirrored and painted Midnight Purple 2. We all have that one friend who uses that electronic devices a little bit too much. You guys know what I'm talking about, and I personally have a friend like that. His name is Sean. You guys have seen him in the vlogs. I put him on blast in the vlogs. I oftentimes walk past his desk and it looks like this. Well, today's video is sponsored by Fume. Fume is a flavored air cartridge that allows you to replace your bad habits with good habits. So how it works is you open up the slide, you drop in your flavored air cartridge. There's tons of different flavors. Then when you close it, you can adjust this knob here to get a larger airflow. And the thing has a really nice weight to it and it feels good. And it tastes good too. I'm gonna go give it to Sean as a gift today because he needs it. Today, we're gonna take one step closer into creating better habits. This is called a Fume. It's gonna help replace your bad habits with good habits. Try it, give it a shot, try it, come on, try it.
I want to do this. Did it work?
Give it.
It smells like Fruity Pebbles.
That's actually orange vanilla. There's no vapor, it's just flavored air. Crisp mint, white cranberry, sparkling grapefruit, raspberry lemon, maple pepper, all for you. And it could be for you, and you could also get 10% off. Head over to tryfume.com/TJ Hunt to get 10% off, or you can scan the QR code on screen, or just use code TJ Hunt at checkout. That's tryfum.com/TJ Hunt and get 10% off a journey pack for yourself or a friend. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring today's video. The big grand plan of this car is gonna be so cool, and I can't wait to build this over the next month or two. Yeah, so this is narrower than the GTR, but it still shares the headlights, the turn signals, the fender signals, same tail lights, and we can swap on a lot of pieces. And again, we can convert this to have the GTR fenders and body pieces on it. And that's actually a very popular mod, is people will put all the GTR pieces on it, and you can have the look of the GTR, but have it for way cheaper. Now this car came with some pretty questionable mods. Like, I don't know, this Hot Boys sparkly radio system.
You don't touch that.
Which it still works.
You don't touch it.
It still works.
You leave that alone.
But the interior on this thing is pretty sick. The interior is pretty clean, apart from this. This is really, really whack. But it has 140,000 kilometers, which is roughly about 70,000 US miles, which is pretty good. I think we're gonna try to find some GTR seats to put in this car, or R33 seats. I haven't planned out everything quite yet, but we have the whole entire drive line and the power plant, the paint and the body figured out for this. But I might do some things here or there that are different on the interior. But again, the main idea for this car is I wanna make this a clone to the Midnight Purple 2 GTR. I wanna have both these things side by side and you're like, damn, that's sick. So one of you guys can win an exact copy of this car. Except I'll make sure to not misshift it and hurt the engine for you. This does have, it might have a blow-off valve,
charge
I'm not
piping,
sure.
front mount intercooler, exhaust, intake cone. It looked
has
like
a Blitz intake cone on it.
It looks like factory turbo and manifold.
This thing is surprisingly really cool. I was expecting it to be a lot slower stock for stock than a normal GTR, and it doesn't really feel that slow. I mean, for being a cool stock car, oh, watch this, traction control, one button, and it's off. We have a check engine light, but that's just the boost sensor is bad. I have a new one to replace that.
Sick.
But
that was a chirp. Dude, this thing's kind of peppy.
I mean, dude, for being a stock car, and for, I mean, I just tried to imagine it back then, like, this thing's still ripped.
Yeah. Yeah, a little surge compressor.
It's
I
tight,
think it's compressor,
and it's torquey enough. We have 2 adults in here.
I think this with like some minor bolt-ons and maybe a little bit of tuning here and there is gonna be a.
There are some people in here, but
oh, LSD. It's got LSD. Yeah, let her eat.
dude,
Let her eat. This thing's tight. I love it. I love it. Okay, I like it. I like it.
The GTTs are slept on, man. This is well, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people who are like, no, they're not. Stop exposing how cool they are.
Yeah, no, GTT.
You can have the look of a GTR and a rear-wheel drive and still have manual and still have an RB. And it looks the same on the inside. And you get cool gauges right here, which you don't get in the GTR.
Look at that. That's some boosty right there is what that is.
When we decided we were gonna do this project, I don't want to say like I wasn't as excited, but I will say like when I drove this today for the first time, really driving it, I was like, wait, this thing is actually way cooler than I thought it was gonna be and drives way better than I thought, and this is it stock.
But look, you're still giddy as all hell. I gotta get a little smile on my face.
The donuts were sick. The fact that it just does that. It feels good.
Healthy.
It feels good in
It doesn't, it's not, dude, you didn't have to like manage the wheel at all. It was just a little throttle input.
Super easy. Can you go to the back and let's get a little sound check?
Yeah,
I don't even really.
Dude, go back there. Film your face, that's it. Who cares?
Oh, really?
Okay.
Okay.
In the car, it's quiet, but back there?
That's pretty sick. And this is an HKS like silent exhaust, which is pretty quiet.
It's got
I think from the front it sounds even better. Do it again from the front. Yeah. Dude. Okay, well this is a cool little bookmark because starting tomorrow, we're gonna start the transformation build, and before you guys know it, this whole thing is gonna be transformed and it's gonna look just like the GTR. What's gonna be a good race is the all-wheel drive 600 horsepower versus the RB25. When we do a slight head modification, we did research, this RB25 Neo can make about 500 horsepower all day. 500 horsepower rear-wheel drive and a 5-speed, that's gonna get down. That's gonna be as if you had a Supra with a 2JZ and you did a basic turbo and fuel. Be making about the same horsepower. Dude, this thing's gonna be fast. It's gonna be a good race between the GTR and this car when it's all done. Since I got this car from last night, I haven't even washed it and it is pretty dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this thing its first wash and then go take some photos with it. Okay, damn, easy on that. For those of you who don't know, my secret formula to getting an awesome car wash is I always use the Meguiar's like just basic car wash, which today is the gold class. And I like to squeeze in, not supposed to do this, but I always like throwing in a little bit of the snow foam from Meguiar's, which is for a power washer, because I think it gives it even more bubbles and I like the bubbles, okay? See, when you come in here and then look at the GTR interior, it is the same thing as the GTT, except gauges are slightly different, and this has the head unit, which allows you to get all the digital displays and stuff. But other than that, in different seats, it's the same thing. Not even gonna bother cleaning those wheels.
Oh God, this is filthy.
It's disgusting. This paint's in pretty good condition. I will say I do feel a little bit guilty respraying an EV1 Lightning Yellow, but there was like no other R34 GTTs that were turbo manual that I could really find. And a lot of them don't show up from importers till like the end of the month or like 30, 45 days. And by the time you guys are watching this, by the time this actually goes live, we filmed this like 2 to 3 weeks ago. So we just like couldn't wait on time. And this one was just everything I wanted. There are a couple things this color does need. It for sure needs a paint correction, but again, not gonna matter too much because we're really just using this as the shell and as the base for the Midnight Purple 2 clone. But if you were to keep it this color, it's actually pretty good. And I got this at a really, really good price. So all things considered, this one is a really good price for a really cool color. I don't know where I'm gonna go to take photos of this thing, but I was talking to Anthony, I was like, this thing is so ridiculous looking on these red wheels, and don't worry, in the next video, they're coming off and we're gonna be making some changes to this thing, but not sure where we're gonna go that's gonna make this car look good because the car's wheel's gonna ruin it so much as it is. But one thing I thought was really funny that Anthony keeps freaking out about is how this car is like the same price as an F80 M3, which he really just like can't understand.
Blows my mind. Okay.
Can't do that in an F80, boy.
You actually can.
Can't do that in an F80, boy.
Oh, you can. Are you sure about that?
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
F80s are silly and stupid.
Oh, really?
And they don't let you have any fun. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sick, dude.
That's cool. That's cool.
This car is sick,
That's
dude.
cool.
It doesn't even make any noises. It's so stock.
That's pretty cool.
It just allows you to have fun. Ah, the smell of burnt rubber. It's my favorite thing ever. Oh, you like that noise, don't you?
I kind of do like that noise. Dude, stop. You're making me like it.
Dude, this car, I'm telling you, I almost don't even want to modify it.
Oh god.
It's so good. This is such a cool car. It looks a little goofy. I can't ignore that fact.
A little more than just a little goofy, but
the GTT is really cool, and I've never really driven one other than today. Like really, I haven't, and I'm falling in love with it the more and more I drive it.
it makes me question why every GTR you've bought comes with an abomination of a steering wheel.
It's because they all come from Japan, and their style is different.
Yeah.
But these are also like old mods. Like this was probably cool back in 2000.
Wait, I would say, when do you think this was installed?
2003.
Damn.
I don't know. Like
Damn, I was shitting diapers when that was put in.
yeah, it's pretty bad. Here's what you can't do in your GTR that you can do in a GTT.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate how cool that was. That was cool. That was dope.
This car's cool, man. This car's cool.
That's kind of cool.
Can't do that in GTR.
Damn, let me do it.
You're funny. Nah.
Damn, that's
If it wasn't their car, I'd let you.
Yeah, Tommy's 240 is
The
a different
Tommy
story.
S13, for those who don't know, who never saw that, Anthony for the first time, he doesn't know how to drive stick. Sorry, he knows how to drive stick, but doesn't drive it every day, and he learned to drive stick by like moving my cars around.
Yeah.
And I always let Anthony move all the cars around for fun in the shop. And he's been drifting a lot on like the sim, and has been really getting into drifting and learning how to like drive a 3-pedal setup through that. And I was like, yo, Twan, I bet you that you can't do a burnout first trying a car. And
I said, I bet you I could.
He said he could, and we were at Tommy's shop in Connecticut, and he had an S13 that was stock and factory, and he did it, and I was really proud of him.
Thank you.
So you'd be able to do it right now, but if you mess up, this is gonna be a really big mess up, where the S13 was a lot cheaper. So for that reason, and for it being their car, I'm gonna respectfully pass.
Damn.
But we did it in first gear. Can it do it in second gear?
Yeah!
Oh yeah, it can!
Yeah,
Are
it
you
can.
kidding me? Dude, let's go!
Oh my god. That's crazy to me that it just did that in second like that.
Because cars that were made in the 90s were like, hell yeah.
Wow.
They let you drive it. There's no ABS to stop you.
Yeah, that is cool.
There's no electronic diff that goes, no, you're
That's
having
cool.
too much fun.
Yeah.
You ask for traction control to be off, and it turns off. And you have a factory rear-wheel drive, 5-speed, 300 horsepower car that looks like an R34 GTR. I'm
be
telling
honest.
you, man, this is a sick car.
It's cool. If the front end didn't look like you asked AI to,
The
you know,
GTT front end is ugly.
it is. Yeah.
I'm not just,
Yeah.
but you can bolt on an
True.
R34 GTR front end. In the next video, guys, we're gonna literally get to doing that with some simple mods. That's all factory. You can just bolt on the other front.
Make it look
It's
sick.
kind of like how you can make an S14 and S15 just by bolting on the S15
The
front end.
bumper and yeah.
Same thing.
So it's like, in my mind though, it's kind of like putting an M3 bumper on a 3 Series. Like, that's whack. So is it what's like, you know what I mean?
So yes, but in my opinion, as long as you don't dress it up with GTR badges, like to me, it's like putting an S15 front end on an S14.
Okay.
It's just a different looking front end as long as you don't badge it up. And it's so wildly popular. Almost, I don't want to say almost every GTT owner, but like every GTT owner that heavily modifies it usually ends up putting the R34 GTR front end on just because it's so good looking.
Yeah.
It is like the best looking out there.
It is, for sure. I understand that. For that point, I understand it. I'll be honest, it bumped up a couple points in my book. It really did.
How cool is it?
It did.
It's
Damn.
so amazing. And it's so fun to hoon around in.
That guy's like, what the f?
Yeah, and you could just take turns and you're just like, oh, there's a car there. You're just like power sliding every turn. It's really rad. And for that reason, this is by far the coolest giveaway car we have ever done. Head over to thehuntingcompany.com to get entered to win the R34 GTT that's gonna be turned into the R34 Midnight Purple 2 clone. And you can win an exact copy and having a matching car with original panels off of my GTR. Click the links down below or head over to huntingcompany.com to get entries now. And in the next video, I'm gonna show you all the mods that I've been stacking for this thing over the last month, and we're gonna start installing all my favorite stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace out and keep moving forward.